What's going on? This is Google for my Run-A-Gun Firearms training, and today I wanted to go over 3 ways for you to shoot faster without actually moving the trigger any faster. Alright, the first way is to do more than one thing at once. So if you are either bringing your rifle up on a ready up or up drill or whatever it is, or you're presenting your pistol from the holster or wherever you're bringing it from, being able to do 2 things is almost always going to be faster than doing them one at a time in succession, right? So 2 things that I can do as I'm going to present I have a pistol in my hand, so we'll go with the pistol, is that I can prep my trigger as I'm presenting, right? So I can take out whatever slack that I have in my trigger, I can remove that and come all the way up to the wall as I'm presenting. So by the time my sights are on target, my trigger is already prepped, right? So that takes practice, because as you do that the first time, you're probably going to break the shot and you don't want to. So knowing your trigger just takes those reps. So how much pressure you need to place on the trigger, and then how much distance it'll travel before you really get up on the wall. And then at the same time, as you go to present, you're on the wall, and at this point I can fire if I want, or if things change, I can change my mind. But if I know I'm going to fire as soon as that gun comes out, as soon as my sights are on target, I'm already ready to fire. I just got to press the trigger, just roll through that remaining pressure of whatever it takes to make your trigger go bang, right? So that's number 1. 2 things at once, prepping your trigger as you present. The second thing is removing a training scar that a lot of us have, and that's the habit of pinning the trigger to the rear, right? A lot of us learn to shoot, and we learn to pin the trigger to the rear, and then you slowly release until you get to the reset, and then you go bang again, right? The problem with that is that it's just slow and not efficient, right? So as you're firing, you prep the trigger, gun goes bang, gun cycles, right? And then as you bring the trigger back, you hear the click. That's when my gun will be capable of firing again. A lot of people will go bang, gun cycles, they'll wait, click, and then they'll confirm their sights again, and then bang. But if you can reset the trigger during the recoil cycle, right, then as soon as your sights get on target and you get something that's going to be acceptable, you can just press the shot instead of waiting, and then you get your sights lined, click, and then bang, right? So what you'll do is you'll break the shot, gun cycles, you'll reset your trigger during that period, and then you can fire again when you're ready, and you won't even hear the click, because that's going to happen during the sound of the gun going off, unless you're running something really, really suppressed. So again, you're not moving the trigger any faster, but you're eliminating that dead time. You're doing 2 things at once. So as soon as your gun comes back down in recoil, you're already on the wall and you're ready to fire another shot if that's what needs to happen, right? And if it does, you just break the shot, bang. If not, you can come off the trigger and do something different, right? But that's going to eliminate some of that dead time from what's called click banging, where you'll go bang, click, bang, right? So you shouldn't hear that gun resetting when you're firing, especially if you're firing quickly. So that removes some of that dead time. That'll allow you to shoot faster, again, without pressing the trigger any faster. Number 3 is to learn how to shoot predictably. So what happens with a lot of people in the recoil cycle is they'll break the shot, gun cycles, it'll lift in recoil, it'll come back down, and then as soon as it gets back down, they find their dot, they line back up their irons, whatever it is, and like, all right, that's what I want, and then they'll press another shot, right? But if your grip is consistent and done the right way, that means your dot is just going to only bounce vertically, right? It's not going to go left and right. It's going to be painting the target vertically with streaks. If you have irons, you're just going to see your front sight bobbing up and down. But that's going to be in a predictable pattern because your grip is the same each time that you're firing, right? So it's no difference than if you hear a metronome and it's clicking, right, at a certain tempo. Your sights are going to be bouncing, or your dot will be bouncing at a certain tempo. So instead of waiting for your sights to come all the way back down and saying, okay, that's where I want them, fire, you can meet it, right? So as soon as you know your sights are going to be there, bang, you're pretty much just going to time it, right? So you know how fast that you can shoot based on, one, you've been to the range a bunch, so you've been studying your particular gun under certain distances, right? Because it's going to be different at 10 yards than it is at 15 than it is at 20. But knowing those conditions through a lot of reps, you'll be able to shoot as soon as your sights come right back down without waiting for them to come back down. So you're going to save yourself a split second of time. So again, that's going to cut down the dead time between shots, but you're not pressing the trigger any faster. So that's 3 different ways that you can shoot faster without pressing the trigger faster. 1, prep upon presentation, right? 2, don't click bang, so you're resetting the trigger during the recoil cycle. And 3, learn how to shoot predictively instead of reactively, where you're reacting to your sight picture. But either way, if you have any questions, post below and let me know.
You know about, give me the 14, when it 14, me kill 14, what you know about, AR-15, me class 16, me dinner to start steam, what you know about, BM-16, yeah, you 16, the clip 16, what you know about, the AK-47, the 8-9 and the Mark 11, what you